Radlauer, I have a short story to tell you. Please listen. In January of 1941, I was Private Edward Radlauer, Army serial number 210-67498, assigned to Company F, 2nd Battalion, 1st Regiment of the 43rd Division Field Artillery National Guard. In February, we were federalized and ordered to leave Rhode Island for Camp Blanding, Stark, Florida. After what seemed like an endless train ride, we arrived at our destination, Camp Blanding. The first thing we saw was row after row of square, unpainted wooden frame structures, each about 12 feet by 12 feet. Each structure had a peaked top, and as soon as we draped the big pyramidal tents over the frames, our quarters were ready, as you see here. In nice weather, we rolled up the sides of the tent. Sometimes when out on drill, with the tents left open, a sudden rainstorm blew through. Our bunks got soaked, but we didn't mind. We were young, and a damp bunk was no great problem. Our quarters did have central heating. This heating was a wood stove set up on a platform of sand in the center of the tent. When stoked with scrap wood, the stove heated red hot very fast, cooled very fast too. There were 6 men to a tent. My bunk was on the top, to the left as you enter. I had the top bunk because I lost the coin toss for the lower bunk with my friend Bob Metz. Having Bob on the bottom meant he could boot me in the rear whenever he liked, and Bob liked to boot quite regularly. Our battalion area had other buildings. One of the tent structures in our company area was the orderly room. We had a building for the quartermaster and supply room. The mechanics worked on our tired and cranky 1933 Chevrolet truck out of the building at the motor pool. The infirmary, where a green light shone over the door at night, was attached to battalion headquarters. The mess hall was next to the headquarters. We were served cold bologna sandwiches and the famous SOS, or cream chip beef on toast. When not eating chipped beef and drinking strong coffee with sugar and evaporated milk, we gathered in the mess hall for movies and lectures about defense against air attack and the gruesome consequences of VD. At this time, I was lucky in the pay department. Because of prior National Guard service, I was a buck private, $1 a day, $30 a month. New recruits were paid $21. Of course, the paymaster deducted laundry charges and fines from our pay. We spent our riches at the other important building in the area, the Post Exchange of PX. It will take me about 7 seconds to list what was available in that 1941 PX. Cigarettes, beer, toilet articles, candy, and writing paper. There was one sort of specialty item, a purple satin pillow on which was stenciled the word mother. I didn't have a mother, so there was nothing I could send home. The 43rd Division had armaments. Our main weapon was the French 75, a 75mm field artillery cannon, which we towed behind the antique trucks. We drilled with the cannon, but never fired it. There was no ammunition. Our other weapon was the famous Colt 45 pistol. We drilled, cleaned, oiled, assembled, and disassembled the pistol, but never fired it for the same reason we never fired the 75mm cannon. Then along about June of 1941, we got another weapon, a rifle, but it was a fake. It had a wooden stock, make-believe trigger, and a thin black pipe for the barrel. We did fake target practice and close order drill. Almost every day, our rifle instructor, Sergeant Fausto Di Socio, demonstrated anti-aircraft procedures. He said, "Kneel, aim the rifle 10 degrees in front of a low-flying airplane and fire." When we all yelled bang, Fausto got mad and made us do push-ups for 10 minutes. But we were happy. After all, we were to be in the service for just a year, and we'd be civilians again. But as you know, December 7th of 1941 changed all of that. Around the middle of October, I left Camp Blanding. The 43rd was transferred to Camp Shelby in Mississippi. As I left Blanding so long ago, I had no idea it would be almost a half a century before I could return. On October 11th, 1990, almost to the day, 49 years later, my wife Ruth and I made a nostalgic trip back to Camp Blanding, where I found this wonderful museum being established. Half a century does put some fuzz into memories, so I have told you my story as best I remember it. Thank you for listening.